worldwide. For more information, visit QveraGlobal.com. Kuvera, an InvestView company.
Hey, welcome back. We're breezing through hour 2 of a Freaky Friday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tobacco, coming today as we do every single day, noon to 2 Eastern, from the Question Tequila Studios. Today, we're drinking some Vesica vodka, brought to us by our good friends over at AWPR. We're testing that out, see if it's legit, if we want to keep it on the desk, but for this week it's working. And speaking about working, and the bill that's bouncing around now to decriminalize sex work, Kaytlin Bailey joins us today. Kaytlin, welcome back to Liquid Lunch.
Thank you so much for having me.
So nice to have you. So we know it's long rumored that sex work is one of the oldest professions on earth. And there are times, I guess, when it serves its purpose for people, if it's done safely and correctly, where permitted.
Right. When it's not criminalized.
Your efforts to, and others, to advocate on behalf of decriminalization are continuing to gain fruits.
Absolutely.
What's happening there?
Yeah, the Public Safety and Health Act of 2019, DC councilmen in the District of Columbia listened to 14 hours of testimony. They heard from a lot of experts in the community, Decrim Now DC, HIPS, Helping Individual Prostitute Survives, in addition to countless DC residents who are asking that police officers stop policing people for engaging in prostitution in their community. Now, the DC Council isn't ready to move forward, but this is not the last time this issue is going to come up. This is the beginning of a political trend.
Why isn't the DC City Council moving forward from what we know?
I mean, I think the short answer is cowardice. You know, I think that politicians are really more followers than they are leaders, and they're being pushed by their community. And they don't quite have the stomach for it yet. But this is the right decision, and we're going to continue to push forward.
Is prostitution legal in any municipality currently in this United States?
Legal, yes. It is legal in some counties in Nevada, but that is not a legal model we're looking to replicate. Nevada has legal prostitution and the highest arrest rate per capita for the oldest profession. We don't want to do that to people.
So how is it legal, but have the highest? That doesn't
Legal,
match.
Legal regulated prostitution forces people into brothels. If you're unwilling to have a boss, if you're unwilling to work for 12 or 24-hour shifts, if you're unwilling to get on a government list or register with the sheriff's office, then you can't work legally in Nevada. I wouldn't.
Now, just on the merits of the issue, whether or not prostitution should be decriminalized or not, I tend to lean in favor of decriminalization, but I'm the belief that states and cities should be able to make their own decisions. Maybe it's right for some places, not others. But a lot of people will say that, well, this is only going to lead more desperate women in adverse financial circumstances towards something that is not, it might be an old profession, but it's not an ideal profession. What do you say to that argument?
There are lots of jobs out there that are not ideal. That certainly wouldn't be ideal for me, right? I could never imagine myself working at a slaughterhouse. I could never imagine myself joining the army or working in a coal mine. But that doesn't mean that we should be hunting the people that engage in that work. And what I will tell you is that over the course of human history, handcuffs have never helped.
Never.
Well,
not even in the trade that we're talking about here.
No,
I mean,
I'm telling you, when you
I think that some people kind of enjoy that.
Let me tell you what.
That's what I've heard.
A lot of police,
asking for a friend.
No, of course, a lot of police departments out there are saying that they're rescuing people from sexual slavery, but when they're in fact doing is they're dragging people out in public. They're giving them a permanent record, even if they're never convicted, right?
Kidnapping them.
Yes, they're kidnapping them, confiscating their money, saddling them with court fees and court dates. It makes it harder to get out of that industry if that even is their goal.
Wow.
Yeah.
It seems to me like there's probably places where this might help society overall because, some of these deranged folks that get more and more depressed, maybe once in a while if they can't find a woman and they think that their life is even getting less hopeful, if they can go out and find someone legally to make them feel good, then maybe it'll eliminate some of the rage.
Well, there are 2 points to that fact. First and foremost, decriminalizing sex work means catching serial killers faster before they've had an opportunity to kill more people. There was just a serial killer last week right here in Montclair, New Jersey, just across the river, that a prostitute, a working girl, tried to report his erratic and violent behavior to local law enforcement, and they were more interested in booking her for prostitution than listening to her story. A week later, he killed a college girl. Wow. And also, I will tell you that Scott Cunningham, an incredible researcher, studied the relationship between Craigslist erotic services ads and the female homicide rate. Every place that Craigslist erotic services were available, the average female homicide dropped 17%.
What data do we have in terms of other countries about that have gone in a decriminalization direction about what it's done to the crime rate, to sexually transmitted diseases, to all sorts of other things that we don't like?
The best example is New Zealand. New Zealand decriminalized prostitution in 2003. They saw a dramatic drop in STDs and HIV because it removed barriers between sex workers being able to access the healthcare services that they needed, and it made them stronger self-advocates for protection and safer sex practices because they couldn't be threatened with prosecution. Speaking of reporting crimes, sex workers reported rapes that were committed against them, assaults and robberies, enabling police officers to go after the really bad guys, making their communities safer.
Do you think if it gets legalized, pricing will go down because there'll be more supply in the market? You know, it's how a free market works, right?
That's not what we saw happen in New Zealand. We saw that workers had more agency and were able to advocate, you know, for more things, including more money. But I could see how some of those concerns will work themselves out. The most important thing is that we have to stop the arrest.
I'm thinking as a free market capitalist, if it's illegal, then there's only a certain percentage of the community that's willing to go for that risk-reward ratio.
Sure, but
and when it becomes legal, then maybe more females will be like, hey,
but as
I don't mind
capitalists,
this.
I'm sure you guys both know that just because something is legal doesn't mean there's a cap on how much you can pay for it.
This is true.
That's true, but when you have more choices, it's like, you know, it's like voter choice. You have more choice, you want.
But my final question, Kaytlin, is, you know, an issue that is of a great deal of concern to me, and I think probably most people watching. That's child prostitution, right? We see, especially in places like India, but really all over the world, including here in the United States, children being exploited by adults to go into child prostitution. What would the decriminalization of sex work do to child prostitution?
The decriminalization of sex work is first and foremost an anti-trafficking initiative. We want to get prostitution, the oldest profession, out of the black market where exploiters and criminals thrive. If you want to go after child porn, stop arresting adults for engaging in consensual sex with each other. It's going to be easier to find predators and criminals.
So it's another, to me, if the men and women who are adults and consenting can do what they want to do in a free market environment, then that frees up resources of law enforcement to go after the freaks and the pedophiles and the maniacs and sick predators.
You wouldn't have to go after Robert Kraft, you'd go after Jeffrey
Epstein.
Epstein.
You don't have to set up a sting outside Robert Kraft's happy ending spa, and you can track down people that are real pedophiles like Jeffrey Epstein and bring them to justice.
Our police officers should be hunting predators and not prostitutes. Bottom line.
Yeah, I'll drink to that.
I
Cheers.
Like that. That was an excellent.
Ring the bell.
Pun right there. Let me ring the bell. Say that again.
Police officers should be hunting predators, not prostitutes.
I love the alliteration, and I love when it's Freaky Friday because we talk about the freakiest subjects, but they're all important. And the main thing is, the best point I got out of that was, stop chasing down adults for doing consensual things and spend all those resources to chase down the freaks who are hunting and being predators on the kids of America and the world. We're going to take a quick break. I think it's happened. For the last 2 days, both Wednesday and Thursday, I announced to you that coming up next or later in the show will be Melissa Chen from The Spectator. She was not here, but we did put an all-points bulletin out there, and it appears that I see her just offset there. And next up, Melissa Chen from The Spectator USA. We'll take a quick break. More Liquid Lunch after this.